I don't know if we should really talk about the Super Bowl because like it's currently going on now, and I'll be honest with you, I got no dog in this race. My only intention really with the Super Bowl was maybe catch Kendrick's performance.
Well, yeah, I plan on catching that.
Yeah.
Because it starts at like 5:30.
What the coverage starts like now.
Oh yeah, the actual coverage, but the game though isn't until like 5:30 or so.
Yeah. I mean, if it was about a superb owl, different story. But I don't care about the big game, so to speak. Go Birds.
Yeah, I don't care about the big game that much either. But I figured we would give our predictions. No, we should act like we already know.
Yeah. So congratulations to Taylor Swift's boyfriend. How about that? Right? That's who's playing, right? It's
Birds he's in it.
Chiefs? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it. You got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. And big game.
Big game. Woo! Yeah.
It was really nice though, Alex. Do you remember that second quarter pass from the one guy to the other guy? And
hey, how about that sack on the one team that really turned the game around? On that,
that's true. Yeah, on that third down. Yeah, it was looking down and out, and then let me tell you, they got it done. They did it.
Madden wasn't such a pain in the ass, I would have said we should have simulated this.
I thought about asking you too.
Yeah.
And releasing like an actual Saturday video.
Yeah.
but
no, Madden kind of sucks in general. Like I've enjoyed it in years past. I really enjoyed they did that like single player campaign like they do with the 2K series. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like overly like melodramatic and cinematic, and like I enjoyed that. That was fun. But the game's just been the same for the past decade.
Oh, longer than that. The last one that I put a lot of time in, like actually invested time in, was 2K12. I think Madden 12.
Madden 12. Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah. Madden 12. I think that was like the second or third iteration of like the create a character run.
Yeah.
But there was like no storyline to it then. There was, but it was nothing like it is now. There was no like cinematics and stuff. So
like I've realized that I am not the target audience for like Madden and like the NBA 2K series anymore, because they've gotten farther and farther away from that cool like single player like career mode, and now they've gone more towards this like, oh, it's this sport as a service. Spend all your money on this, currency that we created for this game so you can get a cool haircut.
Thanks, FIFA.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Even worse is that the card trading like universe modes.
Oh yeah.
Like was it MUT in Madden and whatnot, where you have to collect cards in order to build a team, and just no, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I enjoyed the career mode back in the day because it was very simple, and it was just different at the time. But I mean, the lure back then for these type of games was very much like play against your friends or play online, and they were just simple games. Like, you were just playing. So it's very different now. But live service is dying anyways. More and more of these live service games are starting to drop.
Have you seen the news out of BioWare?
About Mass Effect?
No, Dragon Age.
Oh, about Dragon Age? Yeah.
The executive saying Yeah, we should have kept it with live service and instead of focusing on single player. And all like so many people rolled their eyes so hard that former devs who have been terminated from their contracts are like, dude, you are just complete. Like, you are not just wrong, you are in a different planet on how wrong you are with what people wanted from this.
We, like, the fans and like gamers in general are not anti single player games.
No.
Like, if anything, we want more of them, but big studios refuse to really get behind those type of games where it's solely single player.
I mean,
There always has to be something else.
Example is something that I've occupied like the majority of my week with, and that's Kingdom Come 2 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh, how is that?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I tried the first one, and it wasn't really drawing me in. I think it was like I couldn't, like, the difficulty ramp in the beginning was just so much feeling like the punishing like Dark Souls level where I'm like, I'm not really enjoying this.
Okay.
But they've streamlined the combat a little bit without reducing the difficulty. They made it like easier to kind of like hold on to and like control a little bit better, and just how I felt initially, and it's pulled me in. It's really got me. Like, all the credit to them in the first one because people really attached to it, and it was like a minor hit. And
I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah,
I'm
got
not
a great
gonna lie.
cult status. Second one, even better. It's all the things you liked about the first one, done better, in my opinion.
Okay, so like streamlined essentially.
Yeah, and credit to
Ramped
the
up.
people at Warhorse. The optimization on that game is fantastic. Like, I booted it up with ultra settings, no problems, 0.
Ooh,
Like,
really?
yeah, like my PC is a couple years old now at this point, and I'm not getting any of the 50 series like anybody else. But no, it works great. It works great. I'm running on a 4070 here, just base, and it's handling it like butter.
Do you? This is going back. Was it not Crisis? What was the game? Was it Crisis?
It was Crisis.
Was it? Okay, yeah. I remember everybody being like, "My PC can run Crisis."
Yeah,
and all of us going, "What?" Like, what settings? Like, what?
The lowest settings. The lowest. But to your original
just to get it to run.
Yeah, to your original point, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold 1 million copies in the first 24 hours. And
despite even the BS kind of backlash as well that popped up online from all the chuds.
Oh yeah, the go broke crowd. The game already outsold its previous iteration. And I believe the director of the studio is like, yeah, we've already made our money back on the game.
Oh, I bet they have, and some easily. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, couple of like key highlights to really embrace. Like, number one, I already said, like, combat feels better. Number two, the voice acting is awesome. Many characters feel distinct and different and have like their own identities just with their voice work.
That has been a big drawing for me lately, is good voice acting in games. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we got spoiled with The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, I can't go back.
Yeah, dude. And that's why Troy Baker gets cast in everything.
Everything. Him and what's his face? Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan North and Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey's in every freaking game in existence.
And I'm not against it. I'm not going to lie. I love Laura to death. She is a shining light amongst the crit roll team.
Yep.
Always has been.
Cue the harp music.
Yeah. Same thing with Ashley too, though.
Yeah,
Ashley's been cast in a bunch of stuff. If you don't know who we're talking about, if you've ever seen the original Avengers movie from, was it 2012?
From her cutscene.
Yeah, there's a cut scene from her, but they bring her back though.
Yeah,
they do show her off though a couple times actually. She's in the Loki show technically. That scene is.
Yeah, I think she was like she was kept in the final cut of like when they were doing like newscaster like on the street interviews with people after the Chitauri invasion. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. I love her to death too, and it's if any of you haven't seen the Last of Us show, no spoiler, no,
Just
there's no
watch
spoiler here. Yeah, just watch it. But Ashley's, it's a mind game. It is a mind game. Knowing Ashley was the voice of Ellie, and then hearing her not as Ellie talking, while not if you don't look at the TV, it plays with you real hard.
It does,
real hard.
Yeah. But since we're talking about games, we also got to touch on something that is very relevant to us. Yeah, 2K25. We got like a full trailer this week showing off some of the new stuff. Bloodline Dynasty in the showcase mode. There's some cool bit of business that they've teased with that where you can... Because previously with the showcase mode, they've done kind of like, reenact all these great moments. Now they're also doing that, but there's also going to be like alternative history endings that you can unlock. Which... Really? Yeah. And like sort of like dream matches that couldn't exist. Like there's something I believe with like the Head Shrinkers versus the Dudley Boys or something like that. Just fun things that they can do with that. A couple of new match types. We've got the underground match, which is basically drop the ropes and it's more like MMA style wrestling match. Bloodline rules match, which is going to kind of like, how do you do that in a video game and make it different from a no disqualification? Well, they've added in interference as like a finisher, with the idea being like it starts 2-on-2 and then it ends with like 5-on-5. I kind of love that. That's silly.
I do too.
Yeah. And what was the last one? The finally much asked for intergender matches. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Finally getting that. Yeah.
Oh boy. If we get to do that in GM mode, I am gonna be so happy.
Yeah, there's a couple other things coming too. Some new environments, the infamous NXT parking lot, and the WWE archive warehouse. I've already seen footage. We can brawl on top of the SmackDown fist in it. Yeah.
Really? Yo.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
There's something else that I don't have a lot of information on yet. It's being called The Island, which is a new game mode and environment. And apparently it's where you attempt to join the Bloodline.
Okay.
Yeah, not really sure what that means yet, but we'll see. We've got a couple of weeks and then it'll be available.
We might have to like spend some time and play these different game modes on the channel. Along with GM mode. Just really highlight everything this game has and see what's good and what isn't.
Yeah, and apparently we're also going to have more GMs to choose from, too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get Ava from NXT.
I would assume. I wonder if they'll actually give us, like, Pierce and all that. With
Pierce is in it already.
Was he?
I could have sworn he is.
You know what? I didn't get past Paul Heyman. As soon as I hit Paul Heyman, I clicked okay.
Done. All right.
That's exciting.
Yeah, let's talk some weekend wrestling. Obviously, biggest news over the weekend was a trove of releases on your favorites that never got used and you pretend you actually cared about. Number one, biggest surprise, Sonya Deville, who has been featured pretty regularly this past couple of weeks, was even in the Rumble with the rest of PFC. I feel kind of terrible because she's had a rough go of it of the past couple of years. Injuries, the stalker situation, all that shenanigans. But not technically released, just they're not renewing her contract specifically. So when her contract is up, she doesn't have like, the 90-day clause like the rest of these people will have. So you can expect her to show up somewhere else pretty quickly once her contract's up.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect her to be without a job for very long because she's great.
Yeah, no, she's She's got the ability to actually like do some stuff in the ring, and she's not terrible on the mic. She just needs a character.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like, I think, sorry, because I saw an image of someone else who was released, and it made me giggle.
Oh,
I'm not happy that she's released.
Yeah.
I feel like if they had,
I know exactly what you're alluding to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But no, I really like her in the ring. I feel like if she was just allowed to develop a character, she'd be a mainstay.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with Sonya and like my personal feelings on her. My introduction to Sonya was actually Total Divas back in the day, because I wasn't really watching the product too much, but I like at one point in time I decided I'm just gonna binge all this show, and that's how I got introduced to her. And I'm like, oh, she seems like a really genuinely nice person. And I'm like, I hope the best for you, honestly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Next on the list.
You seriously though?
Yeah, Cedric Alexander, who people are already fantasy booking going to AEW just so he can join the Hurt Syndicate, just to complete that collection. I'm of two minds of it. Like, if he can do something finally, I'm for it. Like, if he can pull Shelton and Lashley and get over as, you know, part of the group of people who hurt people, go for it. Unfortunately, he hasn't had a lot of TV time to shine these past couple of years.
No, and he was on NXT for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. When was he out? He was in the Hurt business like 2 years ago, a year ago, year and a half.
It's hard to say.
Somewhere around there.
Time is weird.
Yeah.
But
but I haven't really seen him much though, so you're right.
Yeah.
Like
these next two, who you almost never see, but it doesn't matter because they are the kings of securing the bag. Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, also getting released. So we'll probably see them pop up in like New Japan or something, because these guys they cannot stay unemployed. They are always working somewhere.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Doing nothing but getting paid.
That's how you get the bag, though.
Yeah. Blair Davenport next on the list. Kind of surprising that they didn't do anything with her. I felt like they were gonna, like, it felt like they were queuing something up, and that just never happened.
They made a big showing of her initially when she first went to the main roster.
Yeah.
But I don't think I saw her at all after that. At all.
Zero like visibility, nothing happening. Just kind of surprising after that, because it seemed like they're queuing up like a feud and like, okay, we're gonna have something interesting for you, and then they just never followed through. There was like teases of it, never happened, no payoff. Which, I mean, at this point where WWE is currently, with how hot everything is, with all the shows, with all the people in the main event and all the big stars, it's not surprising that some people are going to end up getting cut. It's unfortunate, but you can't have an entire roster that's over. It's just, there's too many people, there's too many wrestlers. You can't manage it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, especially when the character that you're putting forward isn't resonating initially.
Yeah.
It's very much like a sales position. Like, you only have a little bit of time to actually get over.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, particularly in Davenport's case, because like, she does have a vocal, fan base.
Oh yeah.
But it's what happens. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna find work pretty quickly, I feel like, no problem.
I think she will. It looks like it was 6 matches that were televised for her this past year, which is unfortunate. But I couldn't even tell you what those 6 matches were. So
I have no idea. I wonder if they're counting some of the interference that she ran during
probably
the past year. Somebody else next on the list, Giovanni Vinci. Oh man,
this is the one I was smiling about.
It's so sad for him, because he had at least some screen time back in the day with Imperium being the bald mute dude. Then they brought him away from that. They did some promo packages, some videos for him, and then they just, the burial of him on TV, back to back, and then nothing. He got squashed so quickly.
They put a ton of money behind those video packages. Those things were well done.
Yeah.
And over the top. And I expected them to actually do more with him. And I wasn't happy with this iteration of Giovanni. I was like, we already kind of have these kind of guys already around. This is just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
But then they brought him out to face Apollo Crews. And what was it? 3 seconds?
I think it's 4 technically, because you have to count 1, 2, 3 for the pin.
Okay, so 4 probably. It might even. You know what, Alex? This is probably one of the few times in history where a ref actually did a 3 count in under 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I bet you. It
was a fast count.
Just like a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Over.
Like for real. And he had what? Like, what is it? Oh, 3 televised matches before his release. Like, what? I couldn't even tell you the other 2. I know that one, though.
Yeah, we know that one just because it was a shock.
God, they put so much freaking money behind that for no reason.
I mean,
why even stand behind him like the way you did trying to debut him and then not actually let him wrestle? Like,
no, I feel like it was a prank on him. I feel like it was a prank.
This was like a long con?
Because, like, I'll be honest with you, I have seen some clips of Vinci doing some impressive things. Like, he's got a damn good second rope springboard moonsault. It looks good. Like, he can do, like, he has athletic ability. It sucks for him, unfortunately.
I don't think he'll be without a job for long, though. I could very easily see him moving over to AEW.
I could see him
having
in TNA.
An okay career. Thank you. I was going to say, or the more likely TNA.
Yeah. Like, he seems like he'd be a good fit over there.
I think so, too.
Another surprise on the list, Isla Dawn.
Yeah. This one I didn't expect.
Former tag team champ. And I'm assuming you saw the photo that Michin posted of her just simping.
Yeah. Simping real hard.
Yeah. I mean, this is what you want to see in this industry. It's just people supporting each other was what it comes down to. Like, these are coworkers, they're colleagues. Even if they're in separate companies, they're still going to be friends.
Oh, definitely. I was surprised by this one, honestly. I like when she's out in the ring. I was definitely an Isla Dawn fan. So,
yeah, just another one that they didn't have something for.
Nope.
And the final testament is no more. Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain gone. AOP just obliterated. I don't think since they brought Paul Ellering into the final testament, he has said a single word. So I shouldn't be surprised. But AOP, I felt like they were gearing them up initially, at least to be like another Demolition, you know?
That and the storyline that was starting to get over with Final Testament v. the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
I thought they played a really good role in being the brutes of that storyline. I was kind of surprised by this one too.
Yeah.
Not the biggest fan of them in the ring, but I do agree they're very much like the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
There was something there. There was definitely something there, and I'm surprised by it because, like, Carrion's being put over even more right now.
And, I mean, I feel so happy for Cross right now because, like, he's finally found something that works.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's Sean O'Hare's Devil Advocate all over again, but he's making it work. Like, the dude's got banter. He's shown the comedy chops in being threatening at the same time very well. The backstage segments, the little things that him and Scarlett have been doing on social media when they're at shows and just they film something short as just like to keep expanding on the lore. It works.
Oh, yeah. And it's surprising that they didn't keep these two.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, okay, so I kind of understand with Paul. Okay.
I mean, yeah, with what they're doing with Karrion right now, he doesn't need a mouthpiece.
No.
No.
Especially a mouthpiece that doesn't fucking talk.
Yeah. But AOP could have used him as a mouthpiece and they could have kept that going.
Thank you. Yes, I was going to say that would have been a great thing for the three of them where none of them talk.
Yeah.
None of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just silent killers. Oh, that would have been so good.
What, just have them be completely mute and just show up and destroy people?
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah.
And they're like, every time they do a promo, it's always with one of the announcers or somebody else, and they don't talk at all. They just get asked like a million questions, and they just put the mic over and they don't say a word. Oh, thank you. Okay. And then my next question.
Like, what was it back in the Shinsuke when wanted to be interviewed backstage and he just said no, speak the English, and just left, just insulting the fuck out of him.
I love
so
it.
Great,
so good.
All right, enough.
But
of that.
These two as well.
Yeah,
I can definitely see them moving on somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Paul will likely just go home. So
yeah, I mean, let's face it, he
was already retired.
Yeah, he can just rest on his laurels. Maybe he can do like a bit for the next season of the Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, like I mean, because he's already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He got his bag. Like this was just extra.
Yeah. There's also some unconfirmed reports about other people who got let go, non-wrestlers. There was a guy I saw on Reddit posting about. He was also released from his contract. He did videos for WWE social media.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like the budget cutbacks or whatever is the story that they're going with for some of these people. Considering how sold out the crowds have been and the merch moving and all that, I don't buy it. This is just, shareholder nonsense for finance bros who want to just get as much money out of a product as possible.
Oh yeah, vulture capitalist type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you can cue the Marvel the Marvel meme of we're in the end game now.
Dude, it is what it is. WWE has always been a capitalist hellscape for decades now. Decades, ever since it gobbled up all the territories. It's just, This is business as usual for them. It just is. This is the industry.
Yeah. I just, you know how it is. WWE inflates and then pops.
Yeah.
And then shrinks and then grows again.
Yeah. It's a cycle every year.
Yeah. I'm just afraid we're closer to that pop than we expect.
I mean, usually they don't do this kind of stuff around this exact time of the year. Like, they usually do it a little bit earlier and then, like, post-WrestleMania. That's usually the schedule.
Yeah, because they want to get you right before Christmas and let you go right before.
Yeah.
And then right after WrestleMania.
Exactly. That's usually the, cycle. But they've changed it up. Okay.
They're like we want to make sure your Christmas is horrible, and then for the others, we'll make sure it's horrible in the spring when it's starting to look lovely out.
Exactly. All right, less terrible things. Raw this week.
So good. Yes.
Opening up with Jey Uso just showing the people that were crying online why he won the Royal Rumble with that energy, with that crowd, doing his music back to back just because he's so over in the buildings with the crowd. Like, you can't not love him making that entrance, and just everybody, he's got him in the palm of his hand. He just does.
He is the right guy. Like, I don't know why a lot of people on the internet have been so mad about it, because I've seen that too.
Yeah.
A lot of it on threads that I've seen. But he's put the time in. He's put the work in. He's shown he can not only be a tag team champion, but that he has singles championship potential. And in my opinion, for the last 2 years, should have had a belt on him already.
Well, he did have the IC title for a short bit there.
For a short bit, yeah. But the man's put in the work, and he has the fan base on his side. There is no way an entrance like his, where you're coming in through the crowd with the people out to the ring, and have them act the way they do if they didn't like you.
Exactly. Like
that's not fake. Like that is all natural.
Yeah. Say what you want about like his technical ability, his work rate, whatever. You can't ignore just how much of a connection he has with the fans. And really, I gotta say, like, his ability to move merch, his ability to move tickets, like, come on, when you see that reaction to his entrance, that makes you want to be there.
Right. I mean, you got a man who is one of the whitest dads imaginable, just standing up on a desk and doing it and yeeting for the world to see, live on television. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's into it, just like everybody else doing it too. Like, they couldn't silence that if they wanted to, like they try to do with booze. They couldn't. Yeah, they just couldn't. There's no way. Like,
okay, I'm gonna say it's not at the level of the Daniel Bryan Yes movement where they are hijacking the shows, because this is one of the few times in the years that WWE has existed that they didn't try and like just disagree with what the fans wanted. They said, okay, this is what you want, you're gonna get it, and we're doing it, and we're all along for the ride. We're all on the same page with Jey Uso.
I think the last major gasp of that was WrestleMania last year when they tried taking it away from Cody. Because he wanted to give it to The Rock.
Yeah. And
like,
that was I mean, unfortunately, as that sounds, that was actually the smartest thing they ever did, because changing on the fly and converting back and doing everything they did with The Rock and Cody, one of the best builds of WrestleMania in history, I would say. Easily.
Oh yeah. But like, I think that should have been like the last point of them not listening.
Yeah.
Like, they were able to turn it around and make use of that kind of that BS into a great lead up. Like, because I agree, it was one of the greatest lead ups to a WrestleMania ever. But they know better than to screw with Jey on this, in my opinion. They know the backlash that would be received. And the only way I could really see them doing that is if they knew Jey was still going to get the belt regardless, and they were just trying to get more people to be engaged.
Look, I will say that, like, post Rumble, I would say, like, the last 6 guys in the men's Rumble, I think you couldn't go wrong with any of those picks.
Agreed.
Except for Logan Paul.
Yes.
But everybody else, I think that's a money WrestleMania main event.
I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. I was counting numbers 23 through 29. I forgot he was there.
As well you should.
Yeah.
But Jey makes his entrance, gets confronted by Gunther, and Gunther just, he's so damn good. I loved the line in their little promo back and forth where he was talking about, like, CM Punk could add to my legacy. Roman could add to my legacy. You bring nothing. And that's a nice build off of their last match and, Jey's last attempt at, taking the title off of him. Like, it's a good building of what they've established, and it makes you believe more that he could do it this time, because he's, like, failed. Like, I failed, I'm going to keep trying. Like, that's pure babyface material right there. Like, not giving up.
Well, in that previous match that they had, a shout out to both of them in that match, because they really sold the idea that Jey could have won that match.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more time and maybe not getting double powerbomb back to back. He would have won that match.
Yeah.
And they're playing it really well, because Gunther, for the first time in a while, is not giving me the impression that he's actually afraid of Jey.
Yeah, it was a good expansion on Gunther's character, particularly with one of the last lines he had, where it was like, if you choose me to face at WrestleMania, every week is going to be hell. And WrestleMania is going to be like the most horrible display of violence like anybody's ever seen. I'm just like, ooh, I love that. The expansion of his characters, like, I'm not weak in all this. Like, you think, you have a chance and you do not.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So Gunther had some bangers throughout this entire promo.
Oh,
Because he also said, what was it? Let's be honest. You couldn't even lace my boots.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Dude. I had to reread it to make sure I was actually correct in what I heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great promo spot for Gunther. He finally did not look weak. He actually had this charisma about him of being bigger than. But on Jay's end of it, man, it's that whole David versus Goliath kind of deal.
Also, I want to give Jay a bit more credit here too with this promo, because once again, he just felt authentic.
Mm-hmm.
He just felt it like he was coming from the heart. It didn't feel rehearsed or pre-written. It just felt like, this is who I am as a person, and I am telling you, and opening the floodgates here. Like, this is who I am. I'm holding nothing back. I'm just bearing my soul to you, and that is just so good for a baby face.
Oh yeah. So the after the Rumble,
mm-hmm.
when he was answering questions, and he kind of broke into tears a little bit. And
back when they were still in the arena.
Yeah, he was trying to answer this very question. No, during the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Oh, the press conference.
At the press conference, and he was trying to answer the question of why he deserves it then. And it was just in the moment, so he couldn't put everything together. He was feeling all these emotions. I felt like this was that same answer, but more thought out.
Yeah.
He was able to finally feel it all and be able to put to words what he was feeling.
Yeah,
it was super heartfelt.
Dude, it once again just showing okay, this is why they are strapping the Rock at the Jay, why they've put so much faith in them, because he can sell you on this. He can sell you on his character, on his ideas, on the storyline, on all of that. And that's what moves tickets. It does.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Guaranteed to move tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed to move tickets. We have seen that the fans, despite him maybe not even being on the show that week, are overwhelmingly wearing his shirts, wearing his sunglasses, yeeting, despite the fact there's no one there to yeet to.
It works. It just does.
It's like how Cody was last year.
Mm-hmm. And oh man, we'll get into Cody in a little bit. Let's cruise through the rest of the show here. First match of the night, Penta versus Kaiser. Once again, Penta. I hope they keep this faith that they have with him, and he doesn't get lost in the mid card, because they've got something. They've tapped into something with him. They've really treated him like the star that he should be. And if he keeps putting on these banger short, not sub 10-minute matches, keep it up. Just keep it up. Don't have him just join the LWO because he's another luchador. Keep doing this singles, star, solo. I don't need anybody else action.
I think we all got to dip our toes a little bit with Penta during the Rumble, and. I'm sorry. Sometimes I do make myself laugh. That was a pretty damn good one. Going back to that. Eddie and Derek, please actually show it this time.
Yeah.
The thing, please. Yeah. But I think we got to dip our toes a little bit with Penta on this and see that there's not going to be just this, Penta's joining LWO, because him and Ray, that moment they had together, despite, they got to give put praise on one another, love each other for a moment. Penta made it quite clear, we ain't friends.
No,
you are still a competitor, a fellow competitor to me. So I don't see him joining. I see him doing his own thing and maybe even making his own kind of crew, so to speak.
Yeah, I want a group of luchadors that all have distinct personalities that can just fucking go and they're not tied into like, okay, I'm a luchador, I have to wrestle other luchadors every week, and that's it.
That's why I was really happy with Gable having to face off against all the luchadors.
Yeah.
I think WWE needs to kind of tap into those kind of matches where you're getting guys who aren't used to luchadors.
Yeah.
And maybe having them overcome the luchadors, obviously, if you want. But like, there was something special there with that I really enjoyed. I think it was done really well by all the wrestlers there in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, keep this going. Just keep this going. Keep expanding.
Yeah.
Let's roll with it.
Like with the Ludwig.
Yeah. Kaiser.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
With that match, like, I think it was like a 3. It was mid.
Yeah, it was okay.
But it was not a bad match. But I feel like that was not one of those kind of matches that would have been better with more time. I feel like we got the right amount there. It just needed, I think it needed a stew with some of the things. I think people need to get used to Penta still as a competitor now in WWE, because it's very different with him around, in my opinion.
Yeah. Then he got, what was it? Pete Dunne came out. Don't call him Butch. All right, finally, we're past that. Allying with Kaiser against. All right, we'll see what happens there. I like Ludwig Kaiser as like a character because he's got that perfect like asshole heel quality to him. Like, I think I heard somebody saying the way to define Ludwig Kaiser is he is the definition of serving cunt. Like that, yeah. Like, that's who he is. Like, he embodies that perfectly, and I'm like, roll with it. Like, keep expanding on that. Like, just, I think that's a perfect like wheelhouse to set him in, and like, okay, how can we tap into that with other wrestlers and like bring that character trait that he embodies into the ring? You know,
his spot in the Rumble was,
exactly,
in my opinion, amazing. Like, he played it so well. That character would totally wait outside the ring for a little bit.
Yeah, like, you got exactly who he was as a wrestler in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And it was great. And honestly, he is the type of wrestler that I could see using that sort of gimmick still and actually getting a belt.
Yeah.
And keeping it for a while.
Like, being,
because it's not the same as Gunther, but it's like, I mean, it feels like a stooge, like how Solo Sikoa was, and then coming into their own. Yeah, like, and it's great.
He does really sell the idea of being like that intelligent heel, kind of, but like, he just comes up short, and that's something you can build off of. I love that.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he plays his role really well, and it's one of those kind of like a Chelsea Green type where there's comedy to it, but he has enough seriousness about his character to where you could throw a belt on him now and be fine. You wouldn't need the build up like Chelsea needed.
Yeah, like, he is the like straight man in a comedy duo. Like he plays it all very straight, down the middle, but you can build comedy off of that just by making them deal with, some ridiculous shit, and it works.
Oh yeah, because like going back to the Rumble, that spot of him go into the ring and then being knocked out freaking immediately was awesome, hilarious, and he played it perfectly.
Exactly. I'll tell you who didn't play anything perfectly. We got the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair, coming out and doing Charlotte Flair things. I'm assuming this was wholly intentional right off the bat, where she started out doing very face forward kind of expressions and delivery, only for like it being clear that the fans aren't into her as that, and they just want her as a heel, and her turning the heel tendencies on and just like leaning into it.
Okay, so I think sometimes people forget that people actually do watch the press conferences after things, and she went into heel mode immediately after winning. So she shouldn't be surprised she's getting booed, even though she's being heartfelt.
Look,
because, like, don't get me wrong, I bet that that year and a half away was super hard with everything that was going on. I don't deny that. But you came out as a heel basically right after your win. You need to own the fact that people are going to boo the hell out of you regardless of what you say.
She, at no point in time, has had the ability to be a believable face.
No.
I
think it's because her face itself just is always in like this like befuddled, angry kind of like vision. Like she sees you doing wheelies on your bicycle on the street and going off of your driveway and has to come out and yell at you.
Yeah. At no point in time has like the entitled rich person who feels like they deserve everything been good basis for a face. It just hasn't.
Right. Like lean into it. You're a heel. Just own it. If they boo you, that technically means they like you.
Yeah. Just embrace it.
Kayfabe, baby.
Yeah.
Kayfabe, baby.
Although I did really like the Ria coming out, just being like, pick me. Do it. See what happens.
So I can beat the frickin' respect into you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like Charlotte is not going to pick Ria at the end of the day. Even though I know that she was saying that she has her eyes more on what's her face? Like Tiffy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't see her picking Ria. They've already faced a couple times. Rhea's way too over right now, and if they're planning to put a belt on Charlotte,
yeah,
it ain't gonna be Rhea's. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, like I don't even have like a 10% belief that she'd beat Rhea at this point.
No, same.
Yeah,
same.
There was also
but Tiffy,
different story. There's drama there. You can have people buy into the near falls. You know.
Exactly.
Also, a little bit of action between Io and getting jumped by Liv and stuff like that. And there was that, I can't remember if that was before or after, but the New Day had was a tag team action against Ray and Dragon Lee. New Day debuting new entrants, new gear. Works for me. It works for me
too.
Yeah.
It definitely plays into this heel mode even more. The Majin tattoo, we didn't really bring this up before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It adds to it for me. It really does. We saw what happened to Vegeta.
Yeah.
Not really a good man, technically. Just a bad man trying to be good.
Yeah.
And this fits. Because this feels like Majin New Day.
Yeah, and I love, because they've always done this, Woods and the New Day, where they've always had their gear reflect where they're at in their careers and have like clues to it, and just like, okay, there's the Majin on the gear, there's So What emblazoned on Kofi's, just the dark unicorn art on it.
Oh yeah,
love it. It all works.
Like right before they changed over to the this newer stuff, when I saw them live, they were wearing their DBZ gear.
Yeah.
And Xavier had on his Goku gear, and Kofi had on his Piccolo gear. And I have not seen that gear since.
I don't think you're going to see it anytime soon.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But you know what I would like to see? A Saiyan body armor suit, blue and white.
Oh, bring that back? They haven't done that since, God, how long has it been? It's been a minute. You're going
full Majin. Yeah. You're going full Majin, brother. You gotta wear it.
Oh, dude, I hope they don't do like not the full armor, but go like the actual like Majin era with just like the blue gear with the boots and the gloves.
And the gloves, yeah. I should have stressed not the body armor over top. Yeah.
Oh man,
dude, I love it. And have them just come out and do one of these with the glove on.
Dude, have them lose a match and have them come back for a rematch, but both of them have dyed their hair blonde.
Yes. Oh. If you can't do it mid-match, then yes.
Yep.
Like if you have to do it mid match, then you're rolling under the freaking ring for a moment and putting on a wig.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with actually.
Yeah, totally.
Do that too.
Do that too. Do it too.
Because when it comes off, be like, oh, they powered down.
Something to look forward to for us, the fantasy book. Then we had Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Io versus Liv. Kind of all over the place with this one. Good showing for both of them because Io's just Io, and Liv has grown as a performer like leaps and bounds these past couple of years. With the finish of, Rhea coming in to beat up Raquel and hitting Morgan, causing a disqualification, and Liv's reaction in that moment, top tier. Like, she sold that moment so well.
Honestly, I've said this before, but ever since that knee to the face, she has been in a completely different competitor.
Yeah, like she turned it up to 11 and like let her cook.
Seriously, like I'm expecting a belt to get put back on her again.
Yeah. Also, really loved like Io and Rhea's interaction after this of being like, why'd you do that? Why'd you screw me over like that? Oh, just so great.
I mean, because we had just come off of them attacking Io and Rhea running them off for a moment, and then Raquel threw Rhea over some pitched tables, and then she ran away with Liv. So I get it. I do. She should have known that Rhea's a little bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
And can't handle something like that happening without answering for it, which I get because I'm the same fucking way.
Yeah. It's a babyface trait too, of like remembering people who are, do things that are slight against you or your friends and trying to avenge them. Like that works.
Yep.
It's not breaking character. It's just like it could have been executed in her character traits to be more intelligent about it, but it works for the build for the matches.
I think so. I think it does too. Because I'm not gonna lie, Alex. If someone beat you up and then I came to your rescue and then I got beat up, once I got back up, I'm gonna go run at them again.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and you know what? Disqualifications have become more and more rare with WWE, so I'm okay with it happening every once in a while. It's like every once in a while, it's okay. Like, just don't do it every week.
I feel like we're getting like one a month at this point right now.
Yeah,
about one a month, maybe two.
Yeah,
one per show.
Yeah, I like a little bit less, but I'm not, getting my pitchfork out for it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It was still a great match though. All in all, Morgan and Io, they wrestle really well together, man.
Yeah,
I really like watching those two go against each other.
Oh yeah, like Io's one of those ones you can always count on to make the most of her time in the ring, and Liv has just grown so much as an in-ring performer that I'm very happy for her, because like there was years where it was like a bit worried about where your placement is on the card. Can you actually hold up? And now she really can. She can.
Yeah, and now that we're beyond more of the Rhea, Liv, and Dom kind of thing, like I think you could start to transition her more towards a face if you really wanted to. So
yeah, there's room to grow there, for sure.
Yeah.
Following that, we had Seth coming out looking like, not quite sure how to describe it, like a mix between like Undead Taker and JBL. Sorry, got a frog in my throat.
What kind of frog?
A big one, like a bullfrog.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah. And then of course, he has the stuff with Sami, kind of talk him up a little bit, bringing him back up, like elevating Sami as like not just the underdog, but the underdog who can do it for his Elimination Chamber qualifying match against CM Punk. And I gotta say, like, my favorite moment of this, where I thought Punk was gonna lose, was when he had Sami in the corner and said, "Look up at it, Ska Boy. That's for me. That's not for you." Just like he's so the little things that he does just makes me love CM Punk, you know?
Same.
Yeah, I thought he was going to lose at that point. I thought he was going to lose because Sami was going to get fired up and take it, but no, Punk wins, and he's going to Elimination Chamber. Ooh.
I do feel like that is setting up Punk to lose Elimination Chamber because he's getting too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. This is theory crafting.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I feel like Punk is setting himself up to lose.
Yeah.
Because Sami Zayn is a zombie. He'll just keep getting back up.
He will.
Like, and between the two of them, I would expect Sami to win an Elimination Chamber.
I know, right? Oh.
Like, I feel like Sami would be able to outlive everybody.
Just because you can't keep him down. Like,
seriously.
You can bury him 6 feet under and he'll drag and claw his way back up.
He'll keep rolling a 2 or better.
So he doesn't die. Yeah. Oh, man. Look,
but this was a good match, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. Especially with Punk's Bret Hart themed gear. Like,
yeah, it was good.
I think I said this to you before, but when I saw Punk live at the show, the gear wasn't this exact gear, but it was similar. It had it was pink and black and white, but way more white.
Yeah.
There was just pink accents and all that. I'm glad he went way more pink with this. It looks really fucking good.
It does. It really. God. It's always the little things with him because, can't forget Elimination Chamber. It's in Toronto. He's gonna be rocking the Bret Hart.
I forgot. This is actually the first time these two have actually wrestled each other ever.
I know, right? Because there was very little overlap with them back when Punk was with WWE a decade ago. Because I think Sami was in NXT at this point. Maybe?
I don't remember. Yeah, with KO.
Yeah. And speaking of, after the match, KO comes out of nowhere, beaten and bruised from his ladder match, just to do a package pile driver on Sami and stumble his way out. And also the detail of him, attacking Sami from behind, so Punk gets driven out and gets taken out, and Punk can't do anything about it. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not going to lie to you, brother. I would never, ever want to take one of those package pile drivers in real life. That looks like if you move 1 millimeter the wrong way and you're walking out you're
walking
CTE.
Dude,
no, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're rolling. You're rolling.
Yeah. You ain't walking.
God, that thing, and it might be real safe to do. Don't get me wrong. Overall, especially in the right hands, it doesn't shake how much that actually terrifies me to fucking watch every time, man.
Yeah, and that only works in WWE just because it's so protected in the aspect of no, you don't do this. It's like a bomb going off. Meanwhile, it happens every week on fucking AEW.
Every fucking week, but there's something about the package version where you're crumpling them up into a cube that it makes me ugh.
Yeah, KO's so good at it too, dude. Oh man,
dude. Oh, makes my knees hurt real fucking bad. Let me tell you what.
It makes you cringe.
I have bad knees.
Yeah. Who doesn't after 30? Come on.
True.
This is your reminder to buy those Dr. Scholl's inserts while you can.
Now, oh my God.
You were telling me before we started that you didn't get any AEW action this week. So
I did not.
Yeah, let me get you through Dynamite here. Okay. They are learning their lessons slowly with AEW with correcting course.
Okay.
Number one, opened up the show with Jay White being interviewed with Renee, only for the Death Riders to come out and confront him. And they had a nice little setup to a brawl with, Moxley and all of the guys from Rated FTR. Because, Jay White's there. You have the entrance of the Death Riders. And he's, delaying. And he's going, okay, there's 1, 2. Only for Rated FTR to come from behind on the Death Riders. Leads into a big brawl. Ends up into the ring with Jay White challenging Moxley and Claudio with Cope on his side to a Brisbane brawl, yeah, at Grand Slam. Don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's just going to be, a walk and brawl with weapons in Australia.
That's my thinking too. Yeah.
But getting this tired shit with the Death Riders out of the way right in the beginning with an interesting brawl is good. Brawling is one of the things that Moxley is very good at, and having those guys like, okay, let's not have this close out the show, let's open the show with this. I'm okay with it.
Smart move.
I think we're all tired of the Death Riders shit at this point.
Yeah. I ever since Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryanson or whatever was taken out, I have just been anti-Death Rider, and not in like that it was boring or anything, but I'm biased, and unfortunately, it just feels like it stagnated for the past several months.
Yeah, like
maybe
most of its run has not been too interesting. There have been glimmers of hope, and then nothing. Also,
the truck. Ever since the truck chase, when what's his face chased the truck, I feel like it hit that point, and then it just went in flatline.
Yeah, there was a moment that I'm gonna tell you should rewatch from this. Right at the beginning when the brawl first erupts, keep an eye out for this. Marina Shafir, as soon as the brawl starts, just goes over and scoops up Renee and carries her off.
And just leaves?
Yeah, just out of frame, gone.
God damn, that is good comedy right there. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah. Once again, I'm going to put over AEW for keeping up with the environment that they're building with going with these smaller venues and having hot crowds, because the Atlanta crowd was really up for everything this night, especially the surprise of Will Ospreay and his mystery opponent being Mark Davis for the Don Callis family. They tried to kind of explain it away on commentary. Didn't really work, but the match was hot. There was a fantastic pile driver on this, but rightfully Ospreay won. I mean, if it was going to be a surprise debut, it would have been a terrible thing to have them lose to Will Ospreay when they're making a debut. I'm okay with the result of this. It's fine. Kenny comes out after the match to do a little promo with Will, and he does his sign off, the good night and goodbye. And it feels like a prank, but the pyro team went ape shit and just set off every bit of pyro that they had. And he's just like, even that surprised me, guys. What the hell?
I don't want to be set on fire again, boys. I've been set on fire once. I don't need that.
Yeah. Followed by this, we had in-ring stuff with Hurt Syndicate coming out. MVP being like, look, we're going to be fighting champs and all this. But this weekend, we're going to the Super Bowl. So just wanted to come out and just remind everybody that, we mean business. Lights go out. We get returning of the Guns coming out, being pretty decent, actually, reaction for them, but also a decent reaction from the Hurt Syndicate. Lashley and Shelton just giving them nothing, not even looking at them. MVP meeting them face to face. Guns coming out being like, look, we're business guys too, and MVP acknowledging that, kind of putting them over a little bit, only for him to turn around and call them ass boys at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my new chant. That's great. The fucking ass boys.
Yeah. It was a good it was a good subversion of respect on them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they'll be great for a title defense because the Guns are surprisingly good for how young of wrestlers they are,
Oh yeah. Yeah. For real.
Followed this, we had a tag team match. Not the result I would have wanted, but to be expected. We had Fletcher and Takeshita going up against the newly christened Hounds of Hell of Buddy Matthews and Brody King. Just a fucking barn burner, this. But
Hell yeah.
unfortunately, Hounds of Hell lost. Not what I would want with them. I would have wanted them to start them off hot, just cranking up wins. But doesn't matter. These guys were so damn good between the ropes. Like, this is what AEW's tag team division has turned into, is just a hoss fight for everybody.
Well, I mean, maybe starting off with a loss is a good way to build up, though, too, depending on how it's played off. Give them that immediate, like, hill to climb kind of deal. Because we already know the boys. It's not like we don't. It's not like these are fresh characters for us. So I think it could be more easily done.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if this is just, okay, we take a loss and now we have to start building with them in order to get them to be challengers for the Hurt Syndicate, fine, whatever. If you've got to delay a little bit, okay, like, let people get hyped on Hounds of Hell.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let it be believable. That climb to the top.
Yeah.
So
then there was a bit of backstage action with Harley Cameron and Renee, and Harley busting out her Mercedes Monet ventriloquist puppet, only for Mercedes to come from behind and enter the frame from her locker room, being like, "No, I'm not giving you a fight. Like, what is this?" Calling her, like, she's like, "Are you stupid or are you dumb?" Like, this is, the old, like, they're playing it up a little bit in a way that, I mean, it works. Like, Harley is getting somewhere now with her character that is just paying off. Like, go for it.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this is my dumb brain. But I was really, really hoping you were gonna say that as she played with the puppet, frickin' Mercedes was doing the same thing behind her.
No. Even better than that, while Mercedes was talking, Harley was still moving the mouth of the puppet.
Yes. Okay, yeah. I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah,
because, like, what a great gimmick to try and act, like, to play off like the supernatural kind of, or mysticism kind of bit, and be like, oh, this puppet, she actually has control over her.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then we find out, what's her face? Tony Storm. And then we find out that's why Tony Storm is acting like this whole new person and everything.
Oh, no, that was taken care of last week.
No, no, I know.
Yeah.
No, but that would have been so fun. Like, you find out it's actually her with the puppet, and it's not the real Tony Storm. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Make me a writer, AEW.
Yeah, just leaning into the things that work right now. Then we got Hangman being interviewed by Renee backstage to get interrupted by Max Caster being like, hey, why aren't we talking about, best wrestler alive's open challenge and stuff like that, only to immediately just, like, draw the rage from Hangman, and he starts pursuing him around the back and, like, chasing him. We then cut to MJF doing an in-the-ring promo, mocking Jeff Jarrett, only for Caster to run out at this time, being chased by Hangman. And there was a great moment where, like, MJF kind of, like, gets in the way a little bit, and just Hangman getting frustrated and be like, get the fuck out of my way, and chasing after Caster through the arena.
I love it.
Yeah, Dustin Rhodes then comes out to go face to face with MJF, and just fucking Dustin Rhodes being money on the mic at this moment. This is definitely one to watch. Exactly what you want to see. We may get, like, this might be a diversion from MJF and Jarrett, but if we're getting, like, Dustin Rhodes versus MJF, they made a compelling fucking case for this match in this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I brought up, and I see that Cody was brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that setting off Dustin. I can see that.
Yeah. Following this, we had a quick little backstage segment with Samoa Joe and Hook doing their, like, Pulp Fiction characters. Like, we cut to them, like, mid-conversation. Like, I think Samoa Joe called Shibata Speak and Spell. And there was Hook threw out a line of, like, when you're frustrated or, like, angry or something like that, you can't focus. And Joe retorting with, like, don't use my own stuff against me. Going for
Hell
they went to bust into Christian Cage's locker room, only he's not there. It's Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, and they decide, okay, we're gonna leave a message and just jump them. Christian Cage like opens the door, sees them, backs out, and just comes back after they've gotten done with their beat up just to check on them. Just silly heel shit, silly heel stuff.
That's perfect. I love it.
Then we had what I was alluding to earlier, Queen Aminata versus Toni Storm, but it's not Toni Storm as Toni Storm. It's Toni Storm as Mariah May. Coming out, doing her mannerisms, having the same gear, even put extensions in her hair for this.
Yo, really?
Yeah, really good work with sort of like, the getting in the head aspect of your opponent. And my God, there was a knee strike from Queen Aminata in this match that looked like it took off Toni Storm's head. It was dope.
Damn, I'm gonna have to watch this. I gotta play catch up on this one because this is sounding like a great Dynamite, man.
Yeah, no, it's totally fucking good stuff.
I love Mariah May right now. I think she's hot in the ring. She just like when she fights it's great.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the things that AEW needs to lean back into more is more women's stories and everything, because back in the day, that was one of the big reasons I loved watching was there was a stark difference. Like AEW gave time back in the day. And I feel like we're getting to this point again. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And, the X Factor has always been Toni Storm. Like, she's the ace of the division, like, undoubtedly. Also, really great to have Mariah May on commentary for this match, too.
Was she?
Yeah.
So she actually got to see
the whole thing.
Like, in person, Toni just being her. I fucking love that. That's so meta.
Yeah.
That's so fucking meta. Holy shit.
Oh, and
bro.
There was a bit of business from Chris Jericho in order to set up a match between Brian Keith and Bandito on Collision.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll touch on that later, but if that was their whole point to set that match up, at least it wasn't a waste of time. Then we got main event, Swerve versus Ricochet. They spent some time building up this match, and they came out of the gates fucking swinging. Before Swerve even has completed his entrance, Ricochet comes out of nowhere and just smacks him with a fucking steel chair to the back.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Really kind of like... I mean, Ricochet's grown into this like aspect of his character as a heel of like, I can still do all the things, and now I have to find different ways to do what I am really good at in an aspect that doesn't make you want to cheer for me,
Well, yeah, like, because he's been leaning into this whole Tato Shay.
Yeah, and it's
fucking
great. It's great. The, like, most nastiest thing I saw in this match, hands down, they were up on the barricade, and like Ricochet went up for like a Hurricanrana, and Swerve just holds on to him and says no, lifts him up higher, and just does a release power bomb like on his spine on the barricade. It was so disturbing in the best way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like we're gonna end up getting like a match like we got with Swerve and Hangman?
Yeah, we're getting
between
there.
These two.
Yeah, the finish of the match was Ricochet was going for the Swerve stomp, and very smartly executed. Ricochet puts his hands up like he's protecting his face, but just hits him in the fucking balls with his hands, and then follows it up with a spirit gun to pin him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's like the accidental low blow.
Okay.
So it's like you have that seed of doubt, like, was that on purpose or was it not? Like, it was believable,
Huh, okay. Yeah. I like that, actually. I actually really like that. That's a good way to kind of overcome, because it's kind of shocking in many ways.
And then it ended with Ricochet taking the jacket, like the embassy jacket that Swerve had that was given to him by Prince Nana. And he has been wearing it ever since. Everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that Swerve in what he's done over his time at AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And I love in that we had a little bit of a hiccup period with Ricochet.
Yeah.
But this newer kind of shitbag kind of iteration, like obviously I didn't see this episode, but
yeah.
in previous, like this buildup has worked for me. Like it really has.
Fantastic bit that he did. I think it was over the weekend where somebody posted on some social media. I don't remember which one, but it was like, this version of Ricochet is really starting to grow on me. And he replied with, don't bother. There's no more room on the bandwagon.
I love it. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. He's getting so much better at just being this massive prick, and it's showing like in his mic work and in the ring, like things are clicking. I love it.
Well, it really shows wasted potential that happened at WWE.
I think
because we were talking back then about like why are they not utilizing him more
outside of the Twitter speed tournament.
Yeah, like put him in on the main shows. This man could be in the main card easily. It's just his high flying antics reminds me of old school WWE when we had crazy tag teams going on with the Dudleys and fucking what's their faces, the Hardy Boys and all that. So
it's because like for a long period of time there was the establishment of like, if you're like a cruiserweight, like you're not the biggest guy and you're high flying, you're not main event, you're mid card, and that's the highest that you can get to.
Yeah, and it's dumb because like I could see him being a main eventer, and I could see him taking like a top belt just because he's using his body as like a full weapon more in a different way than the big guy's using his body as a weapon.
Yeah,
like it's fun.
Like it just goes to show, like if you give people the right sort of character to build with, like if you give them time to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't, it'll work. It'll get there. Like you just gotta like experiment a little bit. Like if something's not working, start changing things up a little bit and you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
like explore a little bit. Like
your marinara that you made at home, it's a little too acidic. Add some sugar.
Yeah.
Maybe just like more than a sprinkle.
Oh man. Then of course SmackDown.
Yeah.
That another money Jey Uso entrance to open the show. Just great stuff. Which led to Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga coming out and challenging Jey and Cody to a tag match later in the night. Okay.
I did enjoy this opening. I think it was a great opening. Once again, like we were talking about earlier on in the pod.
Yeah.
How over Jey is. And funny enough, when Cody came out, it felt less like more quiet, I guess I should say, in comparison. I think when everybody was yeeting and everything, it was way more wild. Everybody was into it. And people are still into Cody. It's not like they're not. But I think there was an actual noticeable difference between the two entrances. I really would, in some ways, like to see Jey go up against Cody. I think that'd be a great matchup. But it would feel less David v. Goliath.
It doesn't feel like it should be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like a SummerSlam or something like that.
Yeah, like, or another Saturday Night's main event. Or, like, because it feels like how they did KO versus Cody at, like, Bash in Berlin. Like, it would feel like that kind of setup at this stage.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's as much stakes, as much history, as much to build off of for them to be believable as either one of them could win at this point.
Yeah, the other noticeable thing about this segment, in my opinion, when Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga come out, it's Jacob Fatu's entrance music and promo stuff. It's not Bloodline stuff, because obviously, but we didn't have like a tag team kind of duo thing for them.
No.
So he really like it was Jacob Fatu coming out with Tama Tonga like bringing up the rear, and it wasn't really equals in my opinion.
No diss to Tama Tonga at all, because he's done fantastic work too. But Jacob Fatu, as we've said, he is the standout star. He is. He's everything you want in a guy that's built like that. Like, he is vicious and mean looking. He's terrifying, and he can fucking bring the energy on the mic. My God, how damn good was it to be surprised by how, like, not just engaging, but like the kind of like old school, like Macho Man on cocaine energy he brought to like his mic work.
Oh my God, thank you for saying that, because that is the vibe I got, was Macho Man on cocaine vibes. Like, he's really good on the mic. I didn't know that. I remember seeing an interview, not watching it. It was like a snippet that I read about how he was giving advice, like, you just need to speak and be you, like, you can't be silent. And I feel like this here was proving that he can definitely own all aspects of the wrestling game right now. He's good at it all of it. He was terrifying on the mic. He really sold to me this idea that he could take the belt off Cody. Like, I could. This man's going to go places faster than Braun Breaker, in my opinion. Like,
faster than Braun can even run. Like, I don't just see like a championship in his future. I see Hall of Fame in his future. If he can like maintain this momentum and this kind of like vibe, go for it.
Well, and they've already given him the David v. Goliath kind of matchup with him going up against Braun Strowman. And he didn't look like the weak one in that match.
No.
So, like, the heights for this man, I think, are boundless. Personally, there's no ceiling. There's no you moved up 256 blocks and you're done.
No.
Like, this man's going to outer space given time. He was like the highlight of that promo in my book.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was a decent setup to, an impromptu tag match for later.
Which we've been getting more and more impromptu matches lately,
especially on SmackDown, right? Like,
it seems to be every week.
It was a regular occurrence in the Vince era, especially on like Raw. But now it seems almost contained to SmackDown. Like, ever since like the Netflix era started, we've been seeing a lot more of them again. And like, I'm not a big fan of them, honestly. As a business practice, like, I want to see things set up for shows to get anticipation built for those shows. Like, sell those tickets building this stuff. Just do it.
I think a big part of that for me is it doesn't feel impromptu ever.
No,
like,
never.
Ever. Like, some of those matches in the Vince era, I fucking hate Vince, but like, can we not agree that some of those matches did actually feel impromptu, because they might have actually fucking been impromptu?
Oh yeah, like, he tore up the script mid-show and it's like, no, you go out there and you go out there.
Like, I don't know, I'm okay with doing impromptu, but don't do it every fucking week then. Do it every once in a while, so I at least kind of get this feeling that it might actually be impromptu, just kind of.
It's the same it's a different complaint than I have with like AEW, where they have like on their social media, like, oh, so and so is going to be live on like they make an appearance or something like that we're gonna see from them, only for them to like show up to interrupt somebody or try and attempt to, like, it wasn't like, no, we knew this person was going to be here. Don't try and pull the wool over our eyes and have them be like, oh, this is a surprise. Like, what else were they going to do on the show otherwise? Like, you had them scheduled to be here.
Exactly. Like, if you want to pull the wool over my eyes, don't preemptively tell me that Jerry Lawler is going to be at the show.
Jesus. Look,
thank you.
Other things on the show, we had Bianca Belair versus Piper.
I really like this match. I really like this match, man.
I mean, it's hard not to like it, because it's, Piper Niven is great. Bianca is fucking money. There's like, it's a can't miss kind of setup, you know?
I would really like to see these two go up against each other head to head more often. Mm-hmm. I feel like Piper's kind of been done dirty over the years a little bit, where she, to me, is a main card type of wrestler, and she's been on the mid card for a very long time. I feel like she hasn't been given enough opportunity in this part of the era to really stand out until now.
Yeah.
This work she's doing with Chelsea, I love. I love this whole Secret Service kind of deal that she's doing with her.
Should we talk about the backstage thing with her and Chelsea right now then? Because that was a great moment where she's like, I thought you were going to get me like back up. It's like, I'm trying. Everybody hates you.
Everybody hates you. God, yeah, okay. So that's the other thing. I feel like Piper, given more time to actually talk on a microphone, is needed too.
Oh, yeah,
because,
absolutely.
God damn, is she fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, the chemistry she has with Chelsea is fantastic.
So good. Like, again, like the actual like character kind of run she's doing as the Secret Service like protector. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is inevitably gonna lead to Piper taking the belt off of Chelsea.
Yeah, we just need, before that happens, a get down Madam President moment where she has to dive on top of Chelsea to protect her from like a super kick or a spear or something like that. I just want that. I need that.
Can it please be in like a 4-way singles match and she accidentally pins her because of it? Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Oh my God, I would fucking die. And I think that would be one of the highlights of the year.
That'd be great. Fucking book it. Cowards,
dude.
Just book it. This was kind of like a skip next, Pretty Deadly versus DIY. It was what it was. I do enjoy Pretty Deadly. Like, the Yes Boy chant can get fucking over. Like,
okay, come on. They can definitely be faces. This match proved that to me.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're coming out to basically defend their honor and shit. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like,
and like, don't get me wrong. I like this iteration of DIY. I really do. I think it's working for me very well.
Yeah.
I think that this match needed more, unfortunately.
They just need to turn it up a bit more. Just turn it up a little bit more, and I think they'll be cooking.
Yeah. Especially, like, because the pin was questionable, too.
Yeah.
The final pin. I don't know. Like, if this match could have used 5 more minutes.
Maybe.
Like, max. Like, 5 more minutes. Like, at least a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that, like, really what we need is DIY to turn up the heel antics a little bit more. Give Ciampa a little bit more time on the mic because dude's fucking funny.
Dude, yes.
And then, like, have Pretty Deadly do a little bit more, like, babyface action, like, in between the ropes, like, some more fire-up spots, maybe some more, like, bombastic moves, and I think you could get there.
I feel like this was testing the waters.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a miss. No. I just think it didn't quite hit the mark.
No. If this is building to something more down the line when they get their actual title shot, okay, I'm here.
Especially because, was it last week or the week prior, you and I were talking about how Pretty Deadly should have belts on them. Mm-hmm. I think there's a case to be made for it. And I think even though this match wasn't the best match ever, this match did help kind of prove that case more.
I mean, if they're not really, going full bore with the tag team division, put on Pretty Deadly. Let them see what they can do with the title,
Yeah, have some fun with it. Mm-hmm. Like, we're seeing what Chelsea's doing with the new U.S. champ, women's U.S. championship belt, and it's fucking over. Like, let some more comedy come in. Like, Pretty Deadly is as much fun as we might make fun of them, or me, I guess.
Yeah.
Their comedy chops are great.
Oh, they're hilarious. Like, undoubtedly, like the backstage segments, the video package they used to do at like NXT, hilarious.
Yeah.
Like the levels of the jokes, great. Speaking of levels of jokes, we had men's triple threat elimination chamber qualifying match. Jimmy Uso, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre. like trading barbs before the match even begins. I cannot express how much I appreciated LA Knight starting off with just being like, look, there's no shame in crying. Like, if you've got like some emotions built up in you and you just gotta let some tears out, like, doesn't make you any less of a man. But Drew McIntyre, you crybaby son of a bitch.
Okay. Thank you for saying that right off the bat, because if you didn't, I was fucking good.
Yeah.
I love that he broke character for that moment on purpose to let people know, like, yes, it's okay. You can cry. And it is. For any of you listening who think it's not, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to let your emotions out and actually feel them.
Yeah.
It's part of what makes us an empathetic species. And his ability to take a sincere fucking lovable moment and then immediately be able to use it as a barb, these kind like words in like heart bubbles came out of his mouth, and then he grabbed them and put sticks in them and made them fucking arrows and shot them at Drew immediately. It was perfect. Perfect.
And then there was the fun bit immediately before where he's just like, or immediately after, where he said, oh, wait, I forgot to get my stuff in. LA Knight, like, just to build off of that, like, dirt sheet report about Drew McIntyre being pissed off about the Rumble and all that kind of crap. Like, okay, we're making chicken salad out of chicken shit because, like, nobody was biting that.
Well, and then fucking Drew kept calling Jimmy Jay.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. Like they're distinct enough at this point.
Well, okay, it would be funnier back in the day when they did dress very similar. Like, yes, then I would be like, yeah, you can't tell them apart very easily.
Yeah.
Other than their personalities. But nowadays, they look nothing alike.
No.
Like, there are stark differences between the two.
Very clear. But McIntyre getting the win, kind of predictable, going to Elimination Chamber. But
at least it was believable. This was a believable win because you had the shenanigans of getting everybody like getting knocked out of the ring, and then freaking Jimmy takes his eyes off of Drew just long enough to get tossed away to the side so that the victory can happen. Like, it happened like 3 times.
Yeah.
Where people kept taking their eyes off of Drew, whether it be LA Knight or Jimmy, and then he freaking struck like a cobra.
Yeah.
So, like, it's one of those few times where McIntyre's win was super predictable.
Yeah. And at the same time, doesn't like lower my anticipation for Elimination Chamber at all. You know?
No, same.
Because, like, no, I want McIntyre in that match. I want him with, Punk and Cena. Like, that makes sense to me. Keep going.
Yeah. Not only that, I think it would be fun to see Drew go up against Cody.
There's something there. Yeah. There's something they can build to there.
Yeah. I would love to see that.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of, like, the reported plans of, like, the next thing for Drew being, like, Damian Priest or, like, LA Knight for WrestleMania now. Because I like this idea of Drew having this pure hatred for everything Bloodline, so much so that, like, he gets pulled into, like, other feuds because of their association with Bloodline. There's not really anything there with, like, LA Knight or Priest. But there's something there in the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, I completely agree. I feel like anybody, even Bloodline adjacent, whether they be enemies or allies, it does not matter to Drew. You have something to do with the Bloodline, you will get taken out.
Yeah, I like that character building with him.
I do too, and I feel like it inevitably ends up with him facing Cody, because of
Roman.
Cody helping. Well, yeah, but Roman's out.
Yeah,
so it has to be Cody now.
Yeah, apparently the whole injury angle with Roman is due to them not wanting people to anticipate him being at Elimination Chamber at all, like just to keep him separated from Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, Yes, but we still got gloating by Seth Rollins.
Of course.
Because I'm not going to lie to you, that stomp on the ground did actually look really, really bad. It looked like that might have been an accidental injury, kind of bad.
Also, credit to the social media team at WWE for putting out the clips now from Royal Rumble, because that moment of Roman and Punk immediately after getting eliminated and just be like, what are you doing? We just teamed up a month ago. It was hilarious.
Dude, so good.
Yeah.
Those two, that's another one I really want to see more of, is Punk v Roman. There's something special there, too. And that needs to be nurtured and grown and fed water and allowed sunlight.
Yeah. Let it build.
Let it build.
Yeah. Something that didn't need any build at all and could have been skipped over. Tazawa versus Carmelo was okay. I mean, there was some decent moments. The DDT and Tazawa selling it like death, pretty great. But it is what it is. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'd give this a 3 out of 5. It was a solid, like, middle of the road kind of match.
Yeah.
I feel like it did more for Tazawa than it did for Carmelo, though.
Personally, I would have liked to see Tazawa get the win. Just to give Carmelo some motivation to do something else. Like, give him something to, like, be pissed off about. Have him, like, motivate him to do something more than just be, like, a guy who unfortunately, like, shoots bricks when he talks a big game. Develop a character for him.
Yeah, like, he needs to get out of this, like, baseball mindset and have to face someone 7 times before trying to prove who's better.
Yeah.
You could just face them one time.
Yeah.
And not treat it like a World Series every time. And unfortunately, you are right. He bricks it. He falls short every time. Play off of that you keep falling short, and stop calling yourself him and start calling yourself was.
Yeah. I mean, you can go in the ring. What else you got?
Yeah, exactly. Because unfortunately, like, he doesn't have Riz.
No.
He's very boring on the mic. I would be too. I probably am right now. But I'm also not trying to be in the WWE yet.
Yeah.
So, not until I get to face off against one of my first ops of the Miz. He will be a geriatric by that point.
At that point, yeah.
I think.
But he could probably still wrestle at the same level that he does now. Same level of athleticism, same number of bumps that he doesn't take.
You know what's real funny, Alex?
Wow.
I think if I were to face off against Ric Flair now versus young Ric Flair, I would still lose.
It's possible, but you know what? Guaranteed, Flair would still bleed a fucking ton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. And you know what? My loss to Ric Flair now would be more believable than my loss to The Miz.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, another Elimination Chamber qualifying match. We got returning Alexa Bliss versus Candice LeRae. It's okay. Not great. I would have liked to see a bit more, but I did really like Bliss's finish. The Abigail DDT is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
I like the setup to that. The execution of it looked great.
I think I've asked this every week now.
Yeah.
And I really hate that I keep asking this, but why was Candice there?
Because everybody else had something to do. And yeah, they needed somebody to lose. That's what it was.
Yeah, but you could have had someone better than Candice out there. I'm sorry. Like, I love Candice. I do. But they just don't know how to fucking use her other than for losses and for being, like, under someone's boot.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. This match was just okay to me, too.
Yeah.
I agree that the Abigail DDT, the Sister Abigail, whatever they're calling it, it looked great. I think you can definitely put credit on Candice for taking that really well.
Oh, yeah.
But this was just... I don't know. Like, it just didn't. I was bored for most of it.
Yeah. This was a try not and look at your phone challenge.
Yes. And unfortunately, I think a lot of that has to do with, like, Alexa hasn't been given any time on the microphone. True. I think this match would have benefited from Alexa talking to the fans before this match happened.
Yeah, right now, like, with her return, they need to spend some time, like, showing people where her character is, like, at this point. Like who she is now as a wrestler. Like, we need to see that more than we need to see her in the ring. But you know what? Maybe we'll get there because now she's in Elimination Chamber. Okay.
Yes. Again, though, I think this would have helped Candice too, because give Candice some time on the mic as well. Let her actually, like, let them kind of make this thing.
Yeah.
It was just kind of thrown at us, and it's unfortunate for both of them.
And then followed by this, we had our impromptu main event with Cody and Jey versus Jacob and Tama. This is one of those things that I don't like about the impromptu style of matches because, okay, if this is your main event, what was planned for your main event?
Right. God, this is okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, this is part of my problem with impromptu is like, like this was obviously your main event the entire time because you would have had something else. Like, was your main event literally Alexa Bliss versus Candice LeRae?
Because if not, like, I'm sorry, the crowd wasn't that into it.
No, and unfortunately for both of them, because there was no time to cook for that match.
At the end of the day, main event, utterly predictable. Not in a bad way, but just like it was predictable as hell. But then we got Solo making a surprise return because who else would be in a hoodie to attack Cody
and do a Samoan spike?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I liked it. Solo has really grown into this kind of version of himself, and I'm here for it. I think this is some of the best heel work he's ever done. And I'm hoping that this return is no different.
Yeah. Let them do something with this bloodline that's unexpected is kind of my hope. I kind of want to see, like, kind of book them like the Shield was back in the day, where they just make like surprise appearances to destroy someone and then leave. And have it like reveal what their motivations are later, rather than just have them like go right back to main event terrorizing Cody, you know?
Yeah. Call him something cool like the Red Insurgency or something.
Evil bloodline.
Evil shenanigans.
Yeah.
But that was a great closing though, having Solo come back, because I've been missing him. I'm not gonna lie. If you had asked me that a year ago, I would have said, "Fuck no, I don't miss Solo." But ever since he became the impromptu tribal chief and kind of made things his own, I really like Solo nowadays, man. Like, he's grown a lot as a wrestler and as a character wrestler too. So
I'm all for it. Before we wrap up though, I do gotta talk about Collision for Saturday night. I think they were in Texas, I want to say. Doesn't matter. Everybody's saying it. The crowd was so damn good on Collision. It was infectious. Like, they were up for everything, and it ruled. Key highlights: random three-way trios match, Undisputed Kingdom, Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Ange, and Shane Taylor Promotions kicking off. Just, my God, Daddy Magic had a moment where like he did some stuff in the ring and then like ran out of the ring and grabbed a commentary mic and started hyping himself up just to run back. It was great. Just like out of breath, just like shouting like a madman. It was great. Like, he's so damn
like Booker
fun.
T type shit when Booker T commentated about him whooping ass.
Yeah, so great.
Oh, so good.
Dope as fuck. We got the Bandito return match versus Brian Keith, and there's a moment in this that just fucking ruled where they were back to back, and then they did the 10 paces to the opposite corners, and then ran at each other with like dueling drop kicks.
Yo.
Yeah, Bandito made a money return.
I love that.
Yeah, and then we got Rush Driscoll, Beast Mortos taking on a couple of local guys to squash them. But it led to a hologram return, and like they did like this whole like video thing of like he's like walking down the street, and then he gets like all of these like effects, and it said like upgrade complete, and him just and Commander just wrecking house like in the most awesome way. Like there was a moment where how like they didn't even like turn the lights fully back on for it. Like they were still doing like the lights for his entrance when he's just running around doing flips and shit, but he does like a leap up like he's going for a hurricanrana, and no, he just stands on the dude's shoulders and then jumps from him to another guy to drop kick him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Bandito hologram just looks so fucking money. All these guys look fucking great. Like it was just like luchadors fucking tearing houses down. So great.
I love that. I fucking love that.
Yeah, Dustin Rhodes had a squash just for the sake of it, like 2 moves, just to do some shenanigans with him for going up against MJF, I guess.
So a literal squash. Okay.
Yeah. Then there was Penelope Ford versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa had some random like mascot. I'm not sure what they were there for. It doesn't matter. It was just silliness. Only for like Megan Bayne to come out and like confront Thunder Rosa. Something there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Just very strange moment too, where like Penelope Ford licked the face paint off of Thunder Rosa. Don't know.
What?
Don't know.
What?
Yeah.
That could not have tasted good.
No. But
that shit may be considered edible, but it's not gonna taste fucking good.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. This was just buying time for Harley Cameron's halftime in Houston show, where she comes out with a guitar and reveals that she's got her puppet Mercedes strapped to her back in a backpack, and started singing songs, only to be interrupted by the CEO Mercedes. Just hilarious work between the two of them here. There was a line about like Harley can take her because she's had her hand up her puppet ass for weeks now. Yeah. It's a silly setup for their match. It's all it was. It was fun.
I'm okay for that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
100%. I'm with that.
Yeah. Then great moment. We had Mariah May do like a squash match with some local talent, and nothing match, but she grabs like the stuff to disguise her, or like costume her up as Timeless Toni Storm, like puts like makeup on her and stuff like that as she's like knocked out, and drops her. And there's a slight like swerve where Luther comes out, the butler for Timeless Toni Storm, and he's got like a little like tray with like a napkin over it, and he reveals a bloody shoe, and she grabs it, and she's all furious, only for the reveal to be that Timeless Toni Storm has swapped places with the local talent who was taken out by her to surprise her.
Fucking God, I love it!
Yeah, it was just a great surprise attack moment.
Oh, that's so fucking good!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the type of shit we need in wrestling more, man. God damn, that's so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then main event, we got Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Kind of like a rematch for their Continental Classic tournament. Mm-hmm. Just two guys, they got chemistry. They got chemistry, and easily just one of the best looking matches of the night. Like, I'm sure like the crowd would have been up for everything, but they were here for this match, and they fucking deserved it. Definitely want to give the flowers to the guys for a couple of things. Fletcher did a top rope turnbuckle brainbuster where he just dropped Mark Briscoe on his fucking dome, and it looked so goddamn nasty, like insane. That's how he got the one. But there was also a Mark Briscoe froggy bow to the outside where Fletcher was on his feet and somehow got in position for him to get elbowed through a table on the outside.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's so great.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to watch this match then.
Yeah, like that. Just those key moments. Like, okay, there was a report like the other week that like Tony Khan is like getting in the weeds with creative again, and it's fucking paying off because it feels like they are minimizing the things that people aren't liking and amplifying everything that everybody does like. Okay, give me more Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega interacting, less of the Death Riders, more of like Tony Storm, more of Harley Cameron, more Mariah May action. Like, do more of this. It's great.
Dude, seriously. Because like Kyle Fletcher's growing on me a lot. I mean, Mark Briscoe's Mark Briscoe. You can't
not love him.
You can't go wrong. Yeah. They're starting to, it feels like, to actually have a rebound moment.
Yeah.
Like a much needed rebound moment. So good for them.
Yeah. But like, end of the day, like if they can keep this up, I could see them finally getting back on track and it no longer being like just grifters out there shitting on AEW because they know they'll get clicks.
Yeah. Like what's his face? Been a long time grifter in the game.
Oh, Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
He's just salty because Tony Khan didn't give him a job.
I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. God. But we got some more stuff to look forward to. We've got whatever the fuck Grand Slam's going to be. That whole kerfuffle has got people just like both having valid criticism and being pissed off and also being like, okay, well, maybe you're going a little bit too far, but maybe they can salvage it. I don't know.
Well, we'll still end up watching it and talking about it. So one way or another, they'll get a couple views. So.
Yeah, at least 2.
Not 3. I don't think Walsh actually would. I mean, he watches AEW sometimes, but...
Sometimes. I don't think he's staying up because it's going on after the NBA Finals. So
yeah,
that probably not starting until like 11 or 12. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't see him watching that one. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Until then, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the engagement. Hit all the buttons. Buy our merch. There's a link in the description below. Derek's rocking some right now. Okay, you don't need to get, like, that absurd and obscene with it, Derek. I mean, we might get flagged on YouTube for that. You're showing off too much of the chest. But I think let's say goodnight before you pull something.
Oh, too late for that, my boy. Too late for that, my boy. Christina's now looking over like, oh God, what happened? I can see her. Yeah, she's calling me an old man, which is not wrong.
No, very accurate.
Not wrong.
Very accurate.
All right. Buenas noches.
Good night, everybody.